I appreciate everybody tuning in. How you doing, Amina? How you doing tonight? How was your day? You finished all the 10 clients or more? Sheesh. It was not bad. Could have been better. That sucks. They could have just told you so you weren't waiting. What's going on, Jordan? Yeah, I remember you. How you been? It just could have been better, personally. Appreciate you, Jordan. I'm glad you enjoy the work. I guess you could say I just have a lot of, different things in my mind. That's all. A lot of things I want to do, get done. Just trying to stay patient, though. Some days you just have no words. Just go with the flow, honestly. At least myself. I'm doing well, Jordan. Good to hear. Yes, sir. New art every day. I've created about possibly over 80 pieces over this past week on YouTube Live. I'm going to start showing them on the community page on my YouTube page to showcase them so you can see them in their finished state. It's not about having free time. Even if I'm busy during my days, I always make time to create art. And sometimes I have time and sometimes I just create time. And during my downtimes, I'm still usually doing something art related. Whether it's conceptualizing, currently drawing live while you guys are able to tune in behind the scenes. Yeah, bro, a lot of people don't know how much I create over the years. Like, I've really have created a lot, like, given my time to my art over the years a lot. And these past few years, everything has made a lot more sense to me in correlation between me and my art. So I'm just trying to find my way and navigate through those feelings and through those emotions now. Because for me, it's not about, like, creating anymore. Like, I don't think about creating anymore. I'm more now I'm continuing my practice and trying to elevate in other ways to be able to truly showcase my artistic journey up until now and ongoing, of course. Keep what you're doing. This is awesome. I like those type of art. I appreciate you, fam. Yeah, this is just a part of my process. Um, and over the years, I've really embraced creating on paper quickly because it allows me to get out my thoughts in a manner where if you're just creating on one canvas piece, just for example, you're leaving yourself closed off to one idea, one piece. So I like to continue my thought process by creating, whether it's on canvas, But in this case, on paper, and just creating as much as I can while I'm within my flow state, and continue from there. And then within that, then there's times, where I'm creating my larger pieces or just more sentimental pieces that represent just a larger scope of my vision as an artist. So, like, I don't like to think so much when I'm creating these pieces on paper, nor do I like to think much when I'm creating on canvas as well. But when I'm creating on canvas, there is a little bit more thought process put into certain ideas at certain times that I'm working on certain pieces, if it calls for that. I like creating a lot of series now and collections over the years to represent certain emotions, certain thoughts, certain periods of times of my life to represent like those periods, and then ongoing as my journey continues as an artist and just spiritual experience in general. The hopes is to possibly continue certain series that I started now that makes sense to continue, in the future, and then ongoing. I'm just going with the flow. But the most important part was to get to this flow state of just being able to depict my vision and just be comfortable with how I see things. This is how I see the world. This is how I express how I see, what I experience, and then creating that light through whatever it is that I'm creating in general. And then also I allow myself to have fun along that process too. There's art pieces, a lot of canvas pieces that intertwine a lot of different themes that all come back to its core purpose for me, which is that expression moment while I'm creating that piece. The need to create for myself. So the first art, I'll get eventually I'll get a few pieces that I created within the beginning of my art stages that I luckily still have, which is ironically on paper. It was one of my first pieces that I repainted on a wearable t-shirt, and I painted that live for the first time. So 2016 I was painting on wearable clothing, and that was the year um that I ended up doing my first live show painting on wearable clothing a couple months later. I'll be honest, not knowing what I was doing, like I was really, like I said, creating as an art therapy, and people were really connecting with my art and wanting wearable art pieces and things like that. And that was the first time that I took this piece off of a shirt, off of a paper piece, and repainted it on a T-shirt and sold that to a collector in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And that was the time that everything started elevating from there on out. Then I started painting more on all different mediums like canvas throughout 2017 and just going on to 2020. 2020 is where canvases started becoming a little bit more relevant within my works, and wearable art was something that was continued from 2016 up until like 2020, 2021. And so I had a lot of different artistic periods through my journey. So this period of my artist journey is a little different. It's about making everything coherent to my overall vision as an artist. So not stopping everything that I've been doing throughout my journey, but taking everything and putting it all together, just like you see here. This new piece that I created in 2024. I created like 6 of these. I gave it all out to my family, my brother, my parents, uh, things like that, to represent just a different time of my life with these types of wearable art pieces. This piece here is titled Whispers, and I painted this with screen print paint all around, and then some flowers there to just give it some nice light aesthetic. I'm in love with flowers. There's a lot of meaning in flowers and roses, and I I can go into depth with that, but that's for another time, another piece. That's important, but for another time. The flowers represent something way deeper, but I'm not ready to talk about that today. Yeah, I do sell. Like I said, so throughout my journey, it was I've sold a lot of different wearable art pieces, um, different smaller art pieces. A lot of my larger, um, a lot of my art pieces I've been very sacred with when it came to a lot of my just paperworks and canvases throughout the years. So I sold, certain things throughout my journey. Um, but everything will be available ongoing very soon. At different stages, right? I'm going about different. I'm going about it in a different way currently. But yes, if anything does catch your eye as well, everything is for sale. And they all come with a COA as well, signed, dated. My biggest collector base since 2024 has been in the cryptocurrency space. So I've been selling a lot of different artworks, digital paintings, and also physical artworks that I turned into NFTs, which I built a community of collectors through that as well throughout my journey, which is that was a big turning point within my artistic journey. If anything, NFTs helped me a lot, um, getting out and just understanding a little bit more about my art process, which is another topic to talk about. But that's an important part of my artistic journey as well, is the blockchain. A lot of people don't, understand the blockchain, and then that's a whole other side of people who appreciate art through that medium of NFTs. So I've explored that side a lot since 2021. Released some NFTs around that time, continued learning, and then I built a subscription based community off of Solana blockchain, where collectors can pay every month and stake a certain coin called Access Protocol on the Solana blockchain to be able to access different artworks that I want to release throughout the period that you are a part of that community. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to be showing you guys along the way who are not aware of that part of my artistic journey, like I said, and a lot of other things to slowly come. It's all about balance, though. Save me a hat. No, I also do commissions as well. So one of my big things is I would sell a lot of ready to wear wearable art pieces, and then I get a lot of commission based wearable art pieces as well. So I can do that as well. During 2020, I switched things up with my wearable art and my clothing, and decided to make a different brand based off of that creative side of me, and called it the Create House. So I created a website called thecreatehouse.com, and started selling different wearable art clothing during the pandemic as well to different collectors in New York, Australia, North Carolina, a lot of different states during that time. It was a dope time. And I'll be honest, during that time, like I still was, elevating. Look, as an artist, you're always going to progress regardless of, the period of time. But I just feel like there comes a time in an artist's journey where they just feel a little bit more in tune with their vision while expanding on that. For myself, at least. I can only speak for myself, but that's how I see it. The wall holds a lot of memories. Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. Family, like, these two walls here, I've been painting on since 2016. Matter of fact, earlier than that, but like I said, 2016 I would say was, and really the 2015, but let's just call it 2016 because I love 2016. But regardless of the fact is, it doesn't matter. These walls hold a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Like, I'm going to be taking photographs of these walls to document for the future because, who knows, things are going to change or whatever. But I want to be able to remember these walls and to also display that within my journey. And you guys are going to be able to be like, man, I saw him in that studio. I remember that studio. I remember that background, Memories for everybody, for myself, for collectors, for just supporters of mine, for anybody, for people just looking at my work for the first time and being able to see the places that I used to create. But it is true, like they say, progression happens over time, and it's like you don't wake up overnight with these certain thoughts. It's a progression. A progression of constantly changing things up and maneuvering in different ways and changing your mindset and looking at different things in a different way, being open to other possibilities. But it all comes down to really staying true to yourself, being good at what you are already good at and expanding from there. That's my favorite quote right now, is just be who you are and just expand from that. There's no need to try to tell yourself I need to be something when you are who you are and you can always be better or learn new things to expand whatever vision it is. Room tour. There's a lot of stuff here, man. It's a studio slash hold it what do you call it? Storage stuff, man. And what's it called? Lawnmower, stuff like that. But there's two walls, right? So technically I started on the wall behind me years ago, and then now this is my wall right now for the time being. Hopefully one day, things change, but I'm appreciative of being able to create freely like this, and being able to get shit on the wall like this. It allows me to really hone into me and not try to be careful. But even when I'm in places where I need to be careful, I cover stuff anyway because I gotta do what I gotta do. This spring though and this summer is gonna be a dope time because I'm gonna bring you guys behind the scenes when I go hiking, and I'm going to go live and do quick drawings on paper, whatever it is, canvas, and yeah, document that on YouTube. So I'll definitely let you guys know on my community post section on YouTube when I start that. And also kayaking and painting. That's something I've really wanted to do. So I think I'm definitely going to go live while I go kayaking and paint a canvas while I'm on the waters. Let me know if you guys want to see that. What's your signature for your paintings? Yeah, so I do have a signature. It's changed over time. Now I sign it with my full name, Della Soul Child. Before I was just signing it Soul and then my Halo logo. I still use Soul and the Halo logo for clothing and different things like that. Like if you look on delasouart.com, I have different hats with my logos that you're able to purchase. It's embroidered, different shirts with that logo. But my signature right now on everything moving forward is my full name. Unless I'm doing like clothing and I want to add that like as a logo, for example, I'll show you right here. That's how I was signing my paintings in the past, right? But I want people to be able to be like, oh, Della Soul Child, my full name, because I feel soul is so broad in my eyes, you know. So I wanted to be able to say Della Soul Child, and then from there, as you get to know me, my supporters will understand what soul is and the halo when they just see that alone on clothing or whatever it is. Yeah, no problem, Jordan. I hope you have a great night, brother. Hope to talk to you soon. Peace out, Jordan. Long live art. Make sure you give a few likes before you leave and share it live. Peace out, Jordan. Yo, what's going on, Mooskin? Sketch. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. You know, I'm reflecting on what Jordan said about how do you have so much time, and it's so funny because it's like time sometimes has nothing to do with it. I think it's the mind that holds us back because there was times where I had even more time, and I feel like I just couldn't. Uh, I wasn't not couldn't, but I wasn't at that extensive flow state that I am at now. Although I was creating, it wasn't to me as it was purposeful, 100%, 1000%, but just didn't. Currently, it just feels more like there's just more of a flow. I feel more comfortable, allowing myself to be true to my core. So I definitely liked what he said there because time is everything. That's why that's why I write time on a lot of my pieces recently. I've noticed because I do reflect on time a lot more than I would like to. It's one of those things where I thought I I got over, but apparently it gets heavier as you get older. It's like one of those things you try to understand. Then you get older and you realize that time is one of those things that is inviolable, and we forget. Until it's too late. When it's too late? Because tomorrow could be the end. So you just keep being true to yourself. I didn't answer Jordan's question. I will be giving a little more view of the studio wall when I'm working on larger scale pieces in time. The word of the year, time. Hey, Muscan, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you can join in on the collaboration series between me and subscribers on YouTube Live. And as well, so you can continue to experience a living artist and his journey. Currently, I have 2 pieces in the series as well. With 2 subscribers currently. So that's dope. It's a lot of emotion in this. What do you see, guys? Or if anybody is rewatching the video when it posts, if you see this, let me know how you feel about this piece, if it evokes any emotions. Sometimes you just have clouded thoughts. It's not a piece if it doesn't drop. Makes it more authentic. Another piece for the diary. This might be 100 pieces actually. I'm about to count it up, huh? I think the flow state advanced more than I think. Hope you guys enjoy the live painting, the live drawings or sketches, or I call it art. Do a lot of dots. Always like doing dots. So I put it in my works a lot now. I like the visual aspect. Just pops out. It's therapeutic too. Most things in art, I'm like, I don't know why I do it, but I know why I continue to do it, because I like it. Sometimes it's really that simple. We make art so complicated sometimes. Or even the viewer can make it so complicated. Put some shapes in the background. To represent the puzzle pieces of our soul, of our life. Amina said, I know that's right. I said a lot of things, so I don't know what you're referring to, but I get it though. I said something for you to say that. I already said like 100 things by the time I read that comment. You know the thing that I've realized about having a flow state as an artist, and I think there's a lot of artists, and I've heard other artists speak about this, but not in my way. I think I'm just analyzing it in this way. But when I feel like when you're in a flow state and you just kind of know what you want to do, you're not so worried about outcomes. You kind of just do what you're going to do because for me it's a necessity to create, so I'm creating regardless. The outcome of me creating these is not so tomorrow I can display these in a gallery. This is something I'm doing right now because out of necessity. But even if I took some time off of creating larger works per se, I'm still creating and doing things creative wise during that journey or process that maybe there's some time off per se. But once you really get back into, let's say, larger works, when you're in that flow state, going back into whatever work you want to do because you feel like that's the time to do it, it's like the time you took off didn't matter because by the time a week goes by, at least for me, you have 100 pieces created because of that, I guess you can say, period of seldom that you had with yourself to elevate that creative experience when you get back to whatever you wanted to whatever you needed to get back to at that moment. But that experience is different for all people. I'm just putting it into how I'm currently seeing it. I think there's a part of other people who might see your work so often that it's hard for them not to see as much as they're used to. All right, I'm going off on a philosophy tangent, so let me slow down a little bit. You called? Wait, what? What's up, Pone? Word? Okay, Amina. That's a whole lot of talk. I saw the response from the last piece you posted. Very, very funny.
It's very New York. I was laughing too when I wrote it. I'm a comedian. Slash poet, artist, slash I don't know. Okay. That's ridiculous. I'm not really. I don't even think of poetry like that. I just write. Just. You gotta give it a name. It's art. I feel like. What am I listening to, bro? How would that come on?
You're deaf. You're a writer for real?
I've always dabbled in some writing over the years, or wanted to. I think that was just I don't know, maybe another side of me. Some I kind of like sometimes writing about like things that I like music or whatever. Not recently, but in the past. It gets kind of conflicting. Like I've had a blog in the past before. I still kind of have it. It's probably gonna release again, but in a different light, in a different way, just as a side thing. Andy Warhol had a magazine, so why not? Nah, that's not why I did that, but I thought it was interesting when I found out that he had his own magazine. Or online magazine, rather.
Whatever. That's not the point. Anyway, what do you write?
I think blog writing at some point became my escape when I was figuring out art. I think I think that's why if I went back to that, it would be different. I never said that out loud because I don't think I ever realized that, but it's possible, and possibly a lot of other things factored into that. But I feel like that can be told through my art. Sometimes you don't need full stories unless New York Times wants to interview. I'm open.
I wrote about what's happening in the world. I'm running out of ideas though.
Okay. Like in the world. That's dope. Do you have your own blog? If you don't have your own blog, you should just open up your own blog and just write. It's fun. And you could really build it up like, but not doing much either. Like you could really just drive traffic to your blog by just having the blog. You know, just from my years of doing it. I mean, I used an Instagram, but there was a time where I was just posting stuff and it was getting traffic, testing out things. But also that helped me navigate a little bit more of my art, like as far as like marketing, or just showcasing your art, or writing about your own art, and even like fixing up your own websites. That's probably like one of my hobbies, the internet. Besides art being more than just what I do, that would be like what I would do on the side along with Netflix. Some people watch Netflix. I'll do Netflix and other shit.
It might be a good idea, but no one's finna care about a written response to something no one really cares about. Nah, you'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised. The internet is so big that if you opened up a website and never told any of your friends or family that you opened up the website, they would never know about it. If you're just posting on the website and keeping it like that, and putting the right keywords and SEO within the website itself, that will drive the traffic by itself. Because if you're speaking on topics that are relatable to you, that means there's somebody else out there who will relate to that topic too. It might not be a million people. It might only be 1,000 people in the world who care about that topic. Who knows? I'm just throwing out an example, but that's how SEO and keywords and all that works on websites. Like, if you can target the whatever you're writing to that audience, you just focus on that, and you just write for yourself first. I think blogging helped me a lot, like think in different ways like that. Everything doesn't have to be exposed to all your loved ones and expect like some type of support for them to like read. Like, it teaches you that everything doesn't have to be for the open eyes of people that you know. You just do it and it will find its audience along the way. And I've kind of like I've implemented that in my art. Obviously with art it's different. You can't just expect people to come to you. You have to go out there with it, but you can implement that in different ways, like I do when I'm creating art. Like, for instance, I used to follow everybody on social media. Now I don't follow nobody on social media. I just deal with my art. People, follow me, they follow me, and then there's gonna be people I follow along the way who are truly supportive and always, positive and things like that. But as soon as I get turned off and I feel like it's shifting a little negative within my mind as I'm getting older, I feel that's not worth it. Like, even if I like you as a person or whatever, but like, if I'm feeling rubbed off and for whatever reason, because like we're not perfect humans, and everybody experiences different things, and for me, that's one of the things, like, you gotta learn how to shut off. So it's like, I don't know, blogging helped me with that, learning how to separate and letting your tribe find you rather than you pushing stuff everywhere. And also, if it's just for fun, it's just for fun. Like, so when you're doing something for fun like that too, I don't know. For me, it feels different. And then you could set up AdSense with it too. All of that is fun to see that, like, oh, I can also get paid off of ads from writing what I like. That takes time, but I'm just saying it's something that if you have a blog, you should have that on your website. That's an automatic, no matter what stage. Like, my blog never made significant money, but I learned how to
what's it called? How to set all that stuff up, and like how to implement that stuff. And it's fun. It's fun to see like, oh wow, is that easy? That's what New York Times does on their website, or Complex News. Same concept. They have a bigger audience, but same way of going about it. And then I took that when I started that type of blog. I took that into my poetry blog, so I can display my work, but also, of course, I'm uh, promoting the poetry itself, so people I know who enjoy my works can see it, because that's what I choose to do. But other people within that process find it, and the added cool thing is that you can add, AdSense to help, your website along the way or whatever. Like I said, all that stuff is just fun to me. Those are things that like I grew up with when the internet started coming up with, and so like those are my hidden hobbies. Although recently I've just really just been engaged in my art, and even through downtimes that I normally maybe would do something else, or I used to draw a lot of clown noses back in the day. I have not drawn a clown nose in a very long time. Is it possible there's a painting that's in my current collection that I've been working on? Possible. Who knows? But I just thought of that. I got out of that for for a period of time, because I feel like I was seeing that a lot. But the clown I like the clown because everybody deems it scary. But bro, it's perspective. It can't be scary if you don't see it scary. Halloween's scary, but everybody decorates. Everybody gives out candy, bro. Everybody, right? Not everybody, but the majority. I kind of get clown vibes from this guy. Maybe it is a little scary. My bad, y'all. I know people have clown phobia, so I don't mean to diminish your feelings. I used to be a little scared of clowns too, I think, when I was younger, so who knows. Who used to watch Goosebumps growing up? I just remembered. I forgot about them. I think that's why I started. No, that's a big reason. When I first started, I started doing a lot of like little drips in my art. Probably subconsciously, this came out of it too. Now that I think of it, although that's not how I would have explained it before this moment. What was your inspiration by these like frame-like designs that you're doing around Goosebumps?
Sounds fire though. I got the clown noses. I see faces and things like anything. Yes.
Me too. And that's what attracts me to like when I'm doing these faces, because before I thought of myself like as an artist and things, my sketchbooks, I would always do a lot of line works or just different stuff or whatever. I would even just scribble like this and then start erasing things and making with my eraser, I would just start erasing parts of these scribbles and make like a face out of it. Or even till today, I'll see faces and things like maybe on the wall or when I'm out. I think a lot of people have that ability. That's something that I always had when I was younger. I guess subconsciously too, that comes out of my work a lot. Weird? Nah, I just thought of it as art. I didn't think I was weird. I thought I was gifted. Like I was like, "That shit's fire." What? I have the ability to see things in a different way like that. There's a thing in psychology, right? And I forgot the term of it, but they'll sit down with somebody and they'll give them a few pieces of paper. Oh no, they won't give them a few pieces of paper. They'll show them a few different drawings in black, just all black, and it would be silhouettes of different images in black, and they will show one piece at a time to you during the therapy session, and you would have to depict what you see, and that's how the therapist would determine certain things throughout the therapy session to see how your mind's working at that time of you know what you're seeing at that moment. And I took that practice a lot different as I got older. And you know, for them, for let's just give an example. Let's say really, if you're giving answers like a lot of dark thoughts or whatever, the therapist might, you know, start leaning towards a different direction or whatever. Not to go into detail. But I started embracing like that, you know, embracing that dark that I create, right? Um, and like embracing it, not understanding it, but appreciating it for what it is at the moment, and just like allowing it to be, rather not appreciate it, but allowing it to be for what it is, and then learn through that moment. I'm not saying anything about that practice. I just wanted to bring that up because that's something in psychology they do, and it's an interesting practice. You can find out a lot about somebody going through something by doing that practice too. I feel like. Nah, you probably were just going blind and you didn't know. That wasn't you try to focus. You were actually couldn't focus. You were turning blind and then you were saved. That's what happened.
You used to think you was a superhero because I could unfocus.
Nah. Hate to burst your bubble there in your dreams, but you were going blind and thank God you did it. I'm just joking. I just want to say I do appreciate everybody who's tuning in or who's going to tune in later. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you continue to experience a living artist journey. And of course, I'd love to have you along the way to experience my journey as well of just creation and just appreciating art. With no expectation, just appreciation. That's my new quote for 2026 too. Appreciation.
No expectation. 33% of people can do it. It's voluntary. Nah, it's not voluntary, bro.
Hate to break it to you. You could have, and I forget what it's called, but, and I know because one of my family members have it. I don't want to put them out there, but you know, they always got to get checked out, and they good. But it's something that you always got to get checked out on. So I will go to your eye doctor. I'm just saying. I know I don't know you, but just looking out. I don't like to give advice because I never, you know, over the internet, I learned because it's like you really don't know the full thing, you know. So I'm here to listen, but like at the same time, from my analyst, I'm just saying, cause I'm going blind now. Like I take off my glasses and I mean I can see this, but it's a little bit. It looks like I'm looking through a photography lens and it has the blurred background effect. So it's not clear.
You wear glasses? Thank you for appreciating me. I appreciate you as well. But nah, you bugging.
Nah, that's New York in you. That's the New York in you. Oh, I forgot. Must have throw that out. Let me see if I can finish that first. Yeah. Can't let art supplies go to waste. You gotta finish every bit. People fail to recognize art supplies are not cheap. Especially when you're creating at the pace that I create. You start to learn other avenues, like not in store, looking around, online, looking everywhere for the best. The best quality, the best deals on that quality. Because no store will play me. But I am looking for sponsors. So if anybody's watching, if anybody got the sponsor, hook up. I would use your products every day.
You can't have it better than that. I wear glasses. Yeah, I wear them.
I don't wear contacts anymore. I can't stand them. I've done it most of my life. But they're very uncomfortable. I'm always tearing. I look like I'm on the highest of drugs all the time because it just irritates my eye the whole time I'm wearing it. So there really is no balance between keeping it clear, red, not irritated. So I'm done with that. If one day I can get laser surgery, we'll do that. If not, I'm comfortable with my glasses. I kind of like them. I don't like to speak about identity a lot, but they're kind of a lot of my identity right now. And I like it though. Well, sometimes I would rather not, but you gotta put perspective behind it because it's not like it's gonna change anyway tomorrow.
Looks like I'm on the highest of drugs.
See, I have to say that because if I say drugs, drugs can mean a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And although I don't like that term, when you speak about things that are good, like can be good for you, but like, so I gotta make that clear. The highest, because I don't do that. Like what? Me growing up, ridiculous. No, I'm not in first grade, and no, I was not high in first grade. Like, no, nobody ever asked me that. I'm just making a point, bro, because there was a point where everybody, all the time, they just thought. Then they understood that my sneezing was not a reaction to somebody who's getting high. That's a motherfucker who got allergies, B. So that, oh yeah, so I forgot. That was the other thing is that growing up, I really had bad allergies. And I still have allergies, but allergies and contacts don't mix.
They just don't mix.
And then, yeah, they don't mix. Like in my eyes, people suffer to wear contacts because they're not comfortable in how they look in glasses, but shit, I'd rather not suffer. It's not comfortable, bro. I don't know. Maybe some people are gifted and they really don't feel it. Like I know some people who just gifted in life, they can wear contacts like nothing. But they don't got allergies, they don't have anything wrong. Damn near perfect within their face. They ain't sneezing. When they get sick, it's for 1 second. Oh, And welcome to the Soul Show. This is a stand-up comedy slash rant slash. I don't even know really what you would call it, but stand-up. Does stand-up always have to be comedy based, or can it just be stand-up talk? Right? Would you go to a stand-up and it wasn't about stand-up comedy, just somebody rambling on about whatever they wanted to at that moment, like it was their therapy session? I would. There's somebody on YouTube who does that. And he actually goes on tours and he dresses as a lizard and people just he interviews people and they just start talking about random shit in their life. This guy's hilarious. I think that's the best show I've ever seen. I don't know if there's anything like it. If there is, I would love to know because I think that type of format is absolutely original. Damn, what's his name? Gecko? Matter of fact, I'm gonna listen to him. Oh, if I can find them though. Yeah. Lyle Forever. Check out at Lyle Forever Geek. At Lyle Forever. His show is absolutely hilarious. It's called Therapy Gecko. You'll probably find it like that, and he's in a suit. To anybody who wants to listen to this, it's one of the best formats of therapy ever. Like, this guy is not a trained therapist at all, but people call up asking for advice, telling their story. Shit is hilarious. Some people are making shit up, though, too. You could tell sometimes. Yes, living life in the moment always risks nothing. He's absolutely right. It's very true. Everything is a risk, but if you're living in the moment, is it a risk? Just something to think about. wish I could play my playlist live without getting copyrighted. Shout out to Fabio because I need to do an album cover for him. You're from New York? Make it happen, Amina. I know body language. I know body language. TikTok following. Mm-hmm. Sex. Yeah, take it back to Brooklyn if you let me. Mm-hmm. Someone I can really call a queen. Someone I can really put on my team. Someone I can really blow a bag for. Someone I can always go on days. You guys might hear me sing rap out loud, cause that's just how I do alone, so it's expected to happen on live. You gotta make a collaboration between me and Fabio happen since you're from New York. I need to do an album cover for him. Or get him some wearable clothing. A hat or something. I need to paint in a music video. That's what needs to happen. That's the ultimate vision. I've had a... Yeah, that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta let them know. Demons don't live here. We just embrace them so we can create that light. Let them know. Mm-hmm. Dear diary, no thoughts. 2:34. Yeah. Let me know how you guys connect with this piece, or anybody who tunes in later on in the video. If you enjoy this piece and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to continue to experience a living artist journey. If they evoke any emotions, I definitely would love to know.
Who do I have to do with this? Because you're from New York.
Everybody knows each other. That was my perception. Huh? Oh shit, I forgot there was fucking... Just screaming out. You ever have those feelings where you just... You see the face here though? You see the mouth, the nose, the eye, the regular... Actually, an image I used to do a lot consciously back in the day, and I started implementing it again to bring it back. It was one of my first works, so that's funny. You see the crown. What they say? The head is heavy on the head, or whatever the quote is. Holy shit. I'm leaving it like that. Gotta add the halo. $237. Can you see the face? What do you see? This is a psychology, this is a therapy session. What do you see? Anybody. What do you see here? Do you see the face? Does it scream at you? What does it say to you? Like, what do you see? Be as honest as possible. You said what you said, and now you can't backtrack. Mm-hmm. Dear Diary, 2:48 a.m. Clouded thoughts. Same words, just a different feeling. Through the same emotions. Either it gets old or you put a different perspective on it.
I see help and exhaustion. I see a face in the mid bottom corner too.
Yeah, definitely exhaustion. That's probably why that happened randomly right now. In so many different ways. That's the part of my art that I let speak for itself. Because sometimes your own words can get scrambled. Sometimes it's better to be a little bit simple. Even though when I go on my rants, that's important too, though. That's dope that you see that.
Yo, what's going on, Johnny? What's going on, Johnny Three Gun?
Appreciate you tuning in. What do you see, fam? What do you see here in this random piece that just happened when I got paint on my hands and I just started going over it. I added the halo and then the time and the certain shapes that I saw here, but regardless of that, what do you see? Or how do you feel when you look at that?
I appreciate you, Johnny.
Said that's dope, my man. I need everybody who hasn't yet to subscribe so you can continue to experience a living artist journey. This is just a part of my creative process, but it's one of the deepest because it's a journal. But in this creative process, you're looking at it live. However I feel in the moment, you're going to see here. If I feel anxiety, depression, whatever at that moment is usually reflected here. But the color is the light. And it's the answers that I'm calling for. Damn. AM, 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 AM. 1 AM. I'm Della Soul Child, aka the artist at night. Call it what you will, I really don't. I stressed. I'm keeping this one. We're leaving it like that. If anybody's watching the replay of this, let me know how you feel when you look at this. What do you see? Make sure you watch the process of making this one so you can understand why I'm asking that specifically for this one. Although I want to know how you feel with every piece and your thoughts. Doesn't always have to be scary. You could look at it and laugh and be like, yeah, I defeated you.
For real though, the bottom left. Hold up. I need to make sure I can have this for reference because that's important. For real though, the bottom left reminds me of the innocence of childhood. What it felt like before you meet the world, the idea of a perfect family unit. 100% love the bottom left. Damn.
That's deep, bro. You know, I was just reflecting on that too. I can't exactly recall the date, but I would say definitely in January. I feel like a little bit more recent than I'm thinking, but I've
Possibly because I've reflected on that thought plenty of times, but a lot more as I'm getting older. It's like the innocence of childhood and thinking
in those certain periods of life that you know everything, and then complicating life to realize as you get to a certain age to realize like, damn, I complicated it more than I needed to. Sorry, more than I needed to. I could be wrong, but I'm speaking from my experience, and that's just how I feel. Everybody creates their experiences in life. There's certain experiences that take a little bit longer to jump back from. That's why they say the wise learns from those mistakes that they see in front of them. But sometimes you got to go through your own experiences to create that light. I guess that's why I continue to create art.
I'm glad though. Like that's. I'm glad you like the bottom left, but also I'm just appreciative that
You gave me your thoughts on how you actually felt about that piece and what you saw, because that one was random. It wasn't. It was just. But I like doing those things randomly. I have a lot of little different things like that in my sketchbook that come out of randomness like that. Even things like this sometimes I might just leave it like that. When I first started creating art, this was one of my art therapy practices where I would just do different line work and just go from there, you know? Just following my emotions. And so like now I embrace this, doing things like that and going based off of an image like that sometimes, and sometimes I won't, but sometimes there's you just have that feeling in the moment to just continue that way. Sometimes you don't know. Tell me I'm wrong, but YouTube is one of the most I don't even know the right word. I want to say active, but it's different. It really allows you to connect with a lot of different people. I love that. Me growing up with YouTube when it first came out, I never looked at it like that. I wish I had though. Such a different perspective. When you're just doing things that you love with a platform that allows you to display it if you would like with others. Can't get better than that. And nobody said it had to be perfect either. In this day and age, everybody's talking about how YouTube doesn't have to be perfect. Your content, this, that. It never had to be perfect in essence. I always thought so, but I was wrong. That's why even through my what I thought was perfect, it so was imperfect.
The top feels like anxiety or fear the calm before the storm.
Yes, man, you just saying a lot of my thoughts over the past like just time of existence this past year.
The calm before the storm, like
I feel like I'm the calm before the storm right now, like with my art. I just feel like I've been working on so much body of work that I haven't been worried about making it and showing somebody immediately. I wanted to build hundreds of works at this stage in my life to be able to display all at once while I continue my journey, to give everybody my vision the first time they go and look at my work. But you guys currently who are just meeting me are getting to experience the living aspect of that calm before the storm.
but maybe this is a calm before the storm because there's so much anxiety and fear.
Within this process, I think everybody can relate in their own way, not just through art, but anything they're doing in life that they're just passionate for. Everybody always looks for something more in what they're doing sometimes, and that's okay, you know? For me, it's like doing that, but trying to leave out the expectations. Because those are the worst. Like, what are you expecting? Especially if what you do is out of pure necessity.
Shit's dope, bro. Thank you, Johnny Three Gun. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate you chiming in. Thank you so much. It means a lot. It means a lot that others can connect with, you know, what I used to call every art piece pain. And although there's still sometimes, you know, those feelings in it, everything is sometimes is just looking back at my past or looking at my present and my future all at the same time, intertwined. So it's dope to connect with you, fam. You're now part of the Soul family. That's it. Congratulations. Where darkness is embraced and not judged, where we try to get you through by looking at art, expressing yourself truly, recognizing that you can always be better and push through the light, the dark, or whatever experiences you're having that you need to push through. That it's okay to cry and to embrace your emotions especially as a male, and me speaking for males because I'm a male, obviously. Of course, this concept applies to everybody, but for men it's needed. It's okay to express yourselves because that's when you start to go crazy. Then they're gonna ask, why you acting crazy? Well, because the other times I want to express myself, you call me weak. You call me not a man. And now I'm at my turning point. Now I'm on my breaking point. Now I want to tell my story, but it's been too long. And now you're looking at me like I'm crazy. I've been trying to express myself to you. Now I realize the only person I need to express myself to is
I. Me, myself, and I, right?
Anyway,
Or rather yet, I no longer look for the validation of for you to validate my feelings. That's why. So love me for who I am and what I. That's it. What I am. And let's make a life. A life. Sheesh. Feel like I was talking to in a movie to like man, although art gets me through, music man. So I gotta say, music. Motivate through the hate. How he do that? Because he know that he worthy. Wow.
10-minute warning on my end. Pin de la so I'm getting tired, possibly.
All good. I mean, I appreciate you tuning in as well. Thank you for always showing love recently. I'm glad I met you as well, Johnny. I'm glad to meet you guys. Shout out to New York and shout out to wherever Johnny's from. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to continue to experience a living artist journey. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. To everybody who does subscribe, likes, who tuned in, who appreciates art therapy, appreciates the necessity to create art, and listening to my rants. If you've listened to them prior to this live or not, feels like power and knowledge. For me, it's a sense of that, in a sense of me learning how to grow as a human and navigating life while I'm creating my art. So it's like through that art therapy, my art is also allowing me to navigate my thoughts that I had throughout the day as well. So it's like everything is not trauma based. I also utilize my art to help me navigate my day-to-day life. Like, for example, maybe I could have done something better today. So, while I'm doing art, I'm going to, reflect on it if it calls for that. So, yeah, it's like that process of finding knowledge while I'm creating my own art, which is interesting process. But for me, it's something that I've been doing for such a long time. It's something that I do naturally to actually get through certain trials and tribulations through my daily life, related to art or unrelated to art. I knew you were in New York. LOL. Sound like my wife's family. I'm based out of New York. Oh, shit. See, everybody knows you from New York, Amina. I'm from New Jersey. Yo. Why? Hold up. Why that made me laugh? Why you say it sound like my wife's family? That's funny. Shout out to New York, though. Shout out to Amina. Amina's a real good person. So, Johnny, meet Amina, Amina, meet Johnny. Part of the Soul family. Healthy discussions. Positivity. De La Soul, leave me alone. I'm based out of Kentucky. Shout out to Kentucky. She from Lower East Side. I'm dead. Is he right? Yo, shout out to Kentucky. Shout out to New York. I'm glad y'all in the building. If you guys have not subscribed, y'all better subscribe. Nah, you don't have to subscribe, but it's very appreciative. And I do thank you guys as well. Sometimes you just see where a color goes. Sometimes you're like, nah, that's not supposed to go there. It's just a feeling for me. Hey. Nice to meet everybody. I don't know if you're asking me, but I'm doing well. You know, can't complain. Feel like could have been a better day, but we're in a new day now. So let me not talk about yesterday anymore. It's done. Today's good. It's gonna be better. At least we're gonna affirm it.
Unpopular opinion, because you. And wears glasses. A good artist and has no type. Huh? I'm fine. Everything is ivory. Hold up. Unpopular opinion, because you doing too much. Any Hispanic person from Jersey who does artwork and wears glasses, a good artist
And has no type. Yo, I don't even know what that means. Yo, I'm offended, and I don't even know what it means, bro. I'm offended, but like I don't even know, like what part I'm offended from. Like I just know I should be offended. Definitely should be. But I just like in my mind it's not clicking. Can't be ivory. I ain't never heard such a thing. You either good or you're not good. Ivory is a color. Nah. Okay. Let me stop. We can express ourselves with color because that's like what I do too. So I guess it makes sense. I'm gonna start answering like that too. How you feeling? I feel yellow. Feel red. Feel blue. Feel magenta. Yo, magenta sounds fire. Yeah, I feel magenta today. I'm glad everybody's doing good tonight, or this morning, or wherever you are in the world. Again, shout out to Kentucky. Shout out to New York.
picture.
Damn, it's snowing over there again? I'm happy it's not snowing here. Again. Right now, at least. I could deal without the snow for a while.
Yo, that's dope. I used to watch Saved by the Bell every morning as a kid. These colors and shapes are nostalgic. Huh. I gotta check that out. Saved by the Bell.
To see the relation. I'm gonna check that out now. Oh wow. Yeah, I can see what you're talking about, Johnny. I just looked it up.
That's interesting.
But you know what though? What period was that? 80s? 90s? Yeah. I feel like though, even me, being from the 90s, like subconsciously that came out of, that period because I feel like it's very retro like as well.
Fits the 80s, fits the 90s. AC Slater was the coolest motherfucker at school, bro. Rest in peace, Screech.
Sheesh. One of these days, I gotta check out that show. I gotta see where I could watch it.
was a 10. Kelly was a 10.
That's good to know. Dear diary. Clouded thoughts, 2:48 a.m. Another one for February 3rd. Another thought. To reflect on. To leave in the past. And to reflect on. At the same time.
Hope you have a good night, Amina. If you say another one more time, you finna be DJ Khaled. Yeah, I say it a lot. No pun intended. Hope you have a good night, Johnny. Appreciate you tuning in. Seahawks City. Have fun, fam.
Okay, no. I thought you were. I thought you were saying goodnight to you at first.
Appreciate you tuning in, Johnny.
Have a great night.
Yeah, I used to say that a lot though. DJ Khaled came out consciously though, like just because of no, but I can have a leave pass. I want to listen to a banger really quick. Yeah, no problem with me then. No problem, Amina.
on all your hair? Appreciate everybody who tuned in.